protectors of the Sunnah, Sunnah followers, protectors of the Sunnah.
Alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam Allah, wa Rasulullah. Welcome to another session of our Hadith class. And let me put the Hadith up on the screen for tonight. And we are studying the Hadith from the book entitled 55 Hadiths on Islamic Behavior and Discipline. And let me, I wish they would fix this Zoom thing. It would not be on here. I really wish that Zoom would do that. Now I got to do it over again. Let me put it down here. Hold on. Okay, and for those of you who have not got a copy of the book yet, please make sure you go to www.atleonline.com. The book is not that expensive. Pick up your copy of the book. Today's Hadith addresses the importance of not asking too many questions. How many of you like to ask questions? Did you know that asking too many questions is not a good thing? Let's look at this. Please don't let that do that. See, this is why Zoom needs to fix this. This is Zoom's problem.
There's somebody used to come into class and ask you a lot of questions.
Okay, here's the Hadith, guys. The Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has forbidden for you to be disobedient to your mother and to withhold or demand what you don't deserve. You know what that means? That means to go around begging for things that you don't deserve to have, or asking for things you don't need, or not giving what you don't need away. Also, Allah has forbidden for you to bury your daughters alive. This was a custom that was done by the Arabs, and is still done today in many of the Asian countries. Also, Allah dislikes idle talk and to ask too many questions about things that will be of no benefit to you. And also, Allah hates for you to waste your money. Now, this is a powerful hadith, guys. We already talked about the importance of obeying our parents. And we've also spoken another hadith about the importance of not asking for what you don't need or being too stingy. But how many of us are aware of the fact that if you go around asking too many questions that will bring no benefit, that this is a sin? An example. Why does Allah have hands? Why does Allah need hands? Why does Allah have eyes? Why does he need eyes if he's God? You know, these are questions that if you knew the answer to are not going to bring you closer to Allah. They're not going to make you a better Muslim. So why waste people's time asking such ridiculous questions? Why? You know, so we have to be careful of that. If it's not gonna, if the knowledge of it doesn't bring you close to Allah, then leave it alone. Okay? And also vain talk. What is vain talk? It's useless talk. Talk that doesn't bring no good. Talk that's just a waste of time, that does nothing except cause you to sin. That type of talk that doesn't bring you closer to Allah. So these are some of the things that we have to be mindful of. We talked about the parents. We've talked about our rights and obligations, but how many of us can understand that some questions are not worth asking, especially if they're not going to bring you closer to Allah? So how does this hadith impact you in your personal life? Who would like to start us off? Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
This really, I can understand this. This is a good hadith, but I didn't know, you know, some of it. just asking, I remember as a child asking questions whereas my father would say, you ask too many questions. When you go over there, sit down. Because I did, and the questions, some of them were vain because they didn't have, there wasn't any reason to be asking. Like, is a giraffe purple too?
Yes.
That's a question. But what good is it going to do me to know the answer? And so that is something to think about, and spending money on things that you don't really need and you may not even want, except for maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes, and then there it is, just sitting there on the table, open, and you're not even eating it, like animal crackers we used to get. So, it's good to really be able to think about things before you ask them or before you buy them. Because it may not even be a necessity. It may not even make sense, to even have it. That's all.
Exactly, man. Allah bless you for that. Alhamdulillah. Yes, go ahead, Sister Anissa.
Alhamdulillah. One thing I'm going to enjoy when I do retire is I don't have to listen to unnecessary talk from people. You'd be surprised how you sit down at a table, you're minding your business, and all of a sudden somebody start talking nonsense, no sense at all. And sometimes I'll put my head down and go to sleep just to shut them up. We were talking about that today. So yes, this is terrible. What I hate to do, though, is listen to a Muslim sister complain about something, and you try to tell them this is where it should be. Perhaps you should try this, and they continue to give you the same thing. They don't seem to understand exactly what they are asking for or what their needs are. That is more annoying to me than anything else. I just want to share that.
Exactly. Alhamdulillah. Yes, that's something that we all you're sit there and forced to listen to a person ramble on and on and on about something that is of no value or benefit to you, something that's not even worth mentioning. That's the type of conversations I would have to listen to sometimes at work, men talking about sex with women and stuff. This is just, what do I need to hear that for? Or women talking about the men they go out with. What is that about? Good job. Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, Sister Precious.
Yeah, this is a good hadith, and it's just a good reminder of something that I used to actually do is have unnecessary conversations about a certain situation, and I repeatedly had this conversation over and over and over, and it's like, okay, if I got to a point where it's like, if I'm not going to do nothing about it, just shut up and stop talking about it. Stop complaining, just be quiet and just handle the situation and do what you should be doing instead of keep talking about the same thing and I'm not doing nothing about it. So it's a good hadith, and it's something that I apply to my life.
Exactly,
today.
because that's a form of shirk el asghar, to complain about the situation that you're in, but you're not doing nothing to change it. That's shirk. That's discontent with the decree of Allah. We have to change our situation and make it better. If you don't like your job, leave it, find another. You don't like your marriage, get out of it. You don't like where you live, change it. But to sit around and complain about your situation, this is a form of shirk. Allah hates that too. Yes, go ahead, Sister Latifa.
Now, this puts me in the mind of being a good reminder. And the reminder would be to say, why am I asking this question? You need to question yourself about the question. Is what I'm asking, is it necessary for me to know? Is it any benefit for me to know? And what can I do with it when I know it? So you have to really think about that. Is it really worth me asking questions? Sometimes we do just ask unnecessary things that don't have anything to do with any one of us, and we still ask the question. So you really have to think about that, be mindful.
Yeah, and there's a hadith that speaks about that too. The prophet said, before we open our mouth, think, ask yourself, is it worth even commenting on? Is it worth even addressing? Is it worth even saying anything about it? Am I going to cause more harm or more benefit? So sometimes, silence is the best key, the best way to deal with things. Any other comments? And again, this is a wonderful hadith. Like I said, we focus on family a lot. We talk about, buying things that we don't need. But how many of us focus on useless talk? How many of us focus on asking questions about things that even if we knew the answer to are not going to make no difference? What difference does it make why the sun is the color it is? If you knew the answer, is it going to bring you closer to Allah? What difference does it make why the earth rotates? Is that going to stop it from doing that? So we really need to think before we speak, guys. And don't waste your time or Allah's, with stuff that is of no benefit. I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this session of our Hadith class. Please make sure everybody is here tomorrow. Don't forget that you're to have 3 names of Allah and how those names are implemented in your life by you. Ready for tomorrow with Dr. Asim at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.